Problem 1. Given three angles A, B, and C whose sum is 180 degrees. If tangent A plus tangent B plus tangent C is equals to x, find the value of tangent A times tangent B times tangent C. Okay, so we need to know the some trigonometric identities when solving this kind of problems. Okay, but since we have choices here, and also this is pattern on our board exam, then we can just use trial and error in this case. Okay, but I will show you how to solve this manually, and I will also show you how to solve this reverse, no? Gagamitin natin yung choices. Okay, to solve this manually, what will I do here? It's stated here that A plus B plus C is 180 degrees. Okay, then I will just use this one. Okay, look at this one. I-transpose natin yung C to the right side. Then we will do tangent at both sides. Okay, I will just do tangent at both sides. Then take note, we have a identity dito. Okay, tangent A plus B is equals to this one. Okay, that is that identity of trigonometric function. Then also that tangent 180 minus C can be rewritten into ganito rin, minus tangent C. Okay, identity ito lahat. Now, i-rearrange ko siya, or i-cross multiply ko tong denominator dito sa right side. It will be like this. Then I will transpose minus tan C dito sa left, and it will give us this relationship. The sum of all tangents from A to C is just equals to the product of all the tangents. The same sila. That means that this tangent A times tangent B times tangent C is also equals to value of x. Okay? Now, the answer here is letter D. Now, how to do back solving or reverse engineering dito? Okay, so in your calculator, of course, we don't have values of A, B, and C. So what we will do is we will gonna be assuming values of angles A, B, and C. Okay, let me say that the angle A is 42. Okay, mga at least kanang hindi exact numbers para safe, no? Mga even numbers or no, odd numbers. Basta hindi 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. At least hindi siya exact. Let's say A is 42 and I will store this one to A. Okay? And let's say B is 56. Okay? I will store this one to B. Then our C, dapat the total, di ba? Whole or the total of A, B, and C should be 180. So our C should be 180 minus our A minus our C, which we assumed, no? So this is the value of our C, and let me store this one to C. Now after this one, okay, so looking back at the original statement that tangent A plus tangent C plus tangent B plus tangent C is equals to x. So by doing that one, tangent A plus tangent of B plus tangent of C. Okay, this is the original equation. If we will press calc, ito yung mga values natin na inassume, no? Tangent A, tangent B, tangent C. Then the value of x is approximately 9.5 if those are the values of angles. Okay, so 9.5. Okay, remember that one. Now, if we will do this one, then we will use those values again, the A, B, and C dito. Dapat yung makuha nating value is the same sa kanya. Kasi mag-i-equal siya. Okay, look at this one. Tangent A multiplied by tangent B and multiplied by tangent C. That one. And again, I will press calc. Ito yung mga values natin na inassume. That one and this one. And of course, binigay din niya yung 9.5, the same kanina. That means we prove that tangent, the sum of the tangents is just equals to the sum, the product of that tangents. Okay? Ito, we just proved this one. That means the product of the tangents is just equals to x rem. Okay, that one. I hope you understand that, no? So another example. If sine 3a is equals to cosine 6b, then what is true on the choices? Okay, using the manual solution, okay, note that the sine of theta is equals to the cosine of the complement angle. Complement angle, that means 90 minus that angle. Okay? So, we will substitute sine here into cosine of the complement angle. Okay, using that one, sine 3a, so magiging cosine 90 degrees minus 3a. Then, equate natin siya sa cosine 6b. Then, we can just cancel out our cosine here, and it will give us 90 minus 3a is equals to 6b. Then, arrange that. So, magiging 3a plus 6b. Just transpose yung a, no? 3a equals 90 degrees. Then, simplifying further, divide both sides by 3. Okay, so it will give us a plus 2b equals, this should be 30, no? 90 divided by 3. Hindi ko na-divide by 3. Okay, this should be 30. That's why our answer here should be letter D, this one. Okay, letter D. Take note, this is 30 degrees. Now, how can we do back solving here? Okay, so doing the back solving, again, we will assume values of A and B. Okay, but our values of A and B should correspond sa ating choices. Let's say hindi pa natin alam na letter D yung answer. Of course, we will do trial and error. So, if we will use choice A, then assuming B, diba? If I will transpose the B at this side, let me say, assume lang muna tayo ng values ng A muna, no? A is, hindi exact values, mas maganda. I suggest hindi mga exact values yung gamitin natin. So, let's say A is 46 degrees and I will store this one to A. Okay? If that is our A, then yung B natin will be 180 minus yung A natin. Correct. Okay, so this will be the value of our B. Then I will store this one to B. Now, using the original equation, diba, if I will transpose this one doon, yung cosine 6b to the left side, then it must be equals to 0. Therefore, our sine 3a minus cosine, we just transpose the cosine 6b to the left. Okay? That one. Dapat ma-equal siya to 0. I hope you understand that, no? I-transpose natin siya, dapat equal siya to 0. And take note, we assume values of A and B. If I will press calc, yan yung A natin, then ito yung B, then it give us a value. Hindi siya naging 0. That means mali siya. Okay? Whereas, if we are to use this one as our choices, I mean, we are to try this one, yung correct answer. So, I assume value of A, di ba? Ito yung assume value ng A natin. Una. Therefore, our B here is, ito na yung gagamitin natin. Di ba? Magiging 30 minus assume value na A, then divided by 2 natin. Okay? I hope you can follow that one. And our I don't think so na mag-work ito, but we will try. Okay? Let's say our B is negative 8. We'll try lang muna na negative yung angle. Okay, let's say yan yung B natin. Then we will use this one again, sine of 3A minus cosine of 6B. Okay. Again, naka-store yung values ng A and B natin. I will press calc. Ayun. Okay lang pala kahit mag-negative yung assumption natin. So, it gives us 0. That means this is our answer. Now, if you are to try this B and C, of course, hindi yan mag-0. Hindi yan, because it cannot be the answer. Isa lang talaga yung answer dito. Okay. Another example. If sine A is equals to 4 over 5, then A is in quadrant 2. Then sine B is 7 over 25. Then B is in quadrant 1. Find the value of sine A plus B. Okay. So, first step, kukunin natin yung A and B, of course. So, we can just solve our A by doing this one. Arc sine of 4 over 5. And it will give us 53.13. Then, we will solve the value B. So, arc sine of 7 over 25. Then, it will give us 16.26. Now, if we will try this on the calculator, again, sine, let me do this one. Para exact values, no? Shift sine or arc sine of 4, 5. Okay, so let me store this one to A, ha? That one. Then, yung isa, shift sine 7 divided by 25. And let me store this one to B. Para exact values yung makukuha natin. Then, doing this one, sine A plus B. That one. It will give us this answer. Now, as you can see, wala siya sa choices. Anong mali dito? Okay. Take note, basta sine function, dalawang values or dalawang angles yung ibibigay dyan always. Okay. Now, let us look at this statement na lang. It says that quadrant, yung A is in quadrant 2. Take note that this value is in quadrant 1. If we are to use this one, okay, look at that one. So, of course, our sine A here is positive, so it can be here, quadrant 1 and quadrant 2. Pwede sa dalawa because positive sign is andito sa quadrant 1 and quadrant 2. Now, it clearly states here that this A is in quadrant 2. That means, look at this one. Okay, so ito yung angle A natin in quadrant 1. Now, yung the value of A in quadrant 2 is the supplement sa kanya. Ito dapat. Ito yung 4/5, ratio na 4/5. Since dalawang negative, positive yung Y, then the hypotenuse is positive. Always yan. Then, it will give us positive sign. And ito yung 53.30 natin dito. Then, this one, this A is 180 minus 53.13. So, the other value of A here, which is in quadrant 2, is 126.87. So, ito yung gagamitin natin na A in sine A plus B. Okay, so by doing that, it will give us 3/5. Okay? So, this is the answer. I hope you understand this one. Okay, so another example. Solve for the value of x when x is equals to 1 minus sine theta minus cosine theta quantity squared. So, solving this in manual, we will expand this one, no, or simplify. So, expansion, FOIL method, no, sine squared minus 2 sine theta plus cosine squared theta. Okay, so take note that sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta is 1. So, ito yon. So, arranging this one or simplifying, so it will give us that answer. Now, 1 minus 1 is 0. So, makakancel natin yung 1 dito. And negative 2 minus 2 is positive. So, ang matitira is 2 sine theta cosine of theta. Again, take note, identity, double angle, sine 2 theta is equals to this one. Then we can just simplify this whole term here to 2 sine theta. No, this should be sine 2 theta. Okay? Na mali ako. Sine 2 theta to dapat. Ito yung answer dyan. Sine 2 theta. Okay? Please take note of that error. Okay? Medyo inaantok ako nung ginawa ko to. Okay? Yan yung answer. Sine 2 theta. Okay, now, how can we solve this by back solving? Okay, so, again, back solving. In this case, we will assume value of theta again. So, I suggest, again, na hindi exact values. Let's say, 71. Okay, I will just store this one to A. Let's say yung theta is 71. Of course, hindi yan pwedeng lumagpas sa... pwede pala. Never mind. So, let's say theta is 71. So, using this original equation, 1 minus sine of theta, which is in A, minus cosine of theta, quantity squared. Pressing calc, ito yung assumed value of A natin. So, it will give us 6.6156 approximately. No? If yung theta natin is 71. Now, doing again the the trial and error, pipili tayo dito, of course. Of course, in actual, try natin yung A, try natin yung B, try natin yung C, try natin yung D. But here, I will just do yung D, ha? Para hindi masyadong mahaba. So, sine of 2 theta, yung A nasa nandyan. So, I assume value of A. Dapat yung, ano yung inassume natin dito? The same din dito. Okay? So, if we will press calc, hindi naman magbabago yung assumption natin dyan. It will also give us the same kanina. Di ba? Ito yung lumabas dito. Okay, I hope you understand how to do trial and error dito, no? Para hindi na tayo mag-memorize on the mga identities. Well, if kaya mo naman, i-memorize lahat yon, then walang problema. Mas advantage yon. But, sa dinami-daming formulas na dapat natin i-memorize prior to our board exam, I'm sure mawawala tayo dito. Even me, when I reviewing, I did not memorize all the identities na. Yung pinaka-basic na lang yung mga memorize ko. Okay? Now, let's move to problem 5. Okay, triangles tayo. Given the angle A is 32 degrees, B is 70 degrees, and side C is 27 units, solve for the side A of the triangle. Okay, ito yung triangle na estimate dito. Okay, yung A is 32 degrees, yung B is 70 degrees, the side C is 27 units. Solve for side A, this one. Okay, so take note, the givens is one side and two angles. So how can we solve the value of A? So we can just use sine law or cosine law, but I prepared here to use the sine law. Okay, so we have this one, so I need to get the opposite angle dito, which is yung C natin. Okay, in order to use the sine law. Of course, that angle C is just 180 degrees minus 70, then minus 32. And that is 78 degrees. Okay? Now, using sine law, A over sine of the opposite angle, that one, is equals to C over sine of the opposite angle C, which is 78 degrees. And it gives us 14.63. That is letter C. Okay? Now, another example. In a triangle, find the value of C. If C is 100 degrees, side B is 20, and side A is 15. So, as you can see, we have given two sides dito and one included angle. Pag ganitong problem, pag included angle yung binigay between the two sides, then it is preferably to use the cosine law. Okay? Using the cosine law, that will be, ito yung side na kukunin natin. C squared is equals to the adjacent sides, 15 squared plus 20 squared minus 2 times 15 times 20 cosine of the opposite angle of that side. Okay? So, it will give us 27 units. Now, actually, this cosine law is pwede natin siyang ma-minimize using the calculator, no? Okay, so, ito yung syntax. Mode 2 tayo. Complex mode. Then, we can just use the absolute value. Then, these two sides, unahin natin yung 20 minus that side. Yung dalawang side, i-minus lang natin. Then, angle, ano yung included angle natin? 100 degrees. That one. Then, press equal, ito yung sine law. Approximately the same, parang 27 units. Or exact ito. Okay? So, pwedeng magbaliktad yan. Kahit ibaliktad natin yung sides natin. Pwedeng 20 ang dito, then 15 ang dito. The same lang yan. Okay? Again, you can use this when the angle given is included between two sides. Okay. Another example, problem 7. Two sides of a triangle are 50 and 60 meters long. The angle included between the sides is 30 degrees. What is the interior angle opposite to the longest sides? If this is our triangle, we have two sides given and we have included angle. And we are required to calculate the angle of the longest side, opposite to the longest side, which is, in this case, hindi pa natin alam. Because we don't have this distance pa dito. Okay? So first, let us check muna this third side. In order for us to know ano yung longest distance natin. Okay? So, we can just solve this by cosine law again. May included angle tayo between two sides. Let's say that is D. Using cosine law, okay, I hope you can follow na this one. Then, our D is 30.064. That means, yung longest side natin is D. Yung hahanapin natin talaga is yung theta. Okay? Now, after we have those sides, the three sides, we can just use again the cosine law. Or here, let me just show you the sine law. Because may mga ambiguous case yung sine law kasi. Or in case lang if ma-encounter nya. Okay, using sine law, 60 over the sine of this opposite angle theta is equals to D over sine of 30. That one. Okay? Then sine of theta, rearrange that one. It will give us 86.26. Now, as you can see, wala siya sa choices. So, ano nangyari? Again, as I have said, pag sine theta, dalawa yung always na ibibigay na angle dyan. Of course, kukunin natin yung supplement nito. That is 180 degrees minus 86.26. It will give us 93.74. And actually, sure na tayo ito yung answer because ito yung nasa choices. But ano ba yung paano natin siya i-correct or paano natin malalaman na this is the answer? Now look at this one. Okay? So, this one, this 82.26 degrees, klarong-klaro, hindi siya lumagpas sa 90 degrees. So, approximately, ito yung itsura natin, no? This will be the 82.26 degrees. Approximation lang yan, no? Hindi siya lumagpas or acute angle pa siya. Now, isolate ko para mas klaro. We will check this one. Of course, we already calculated the value of D using cosine law. Walang problema basta cosine law. But for sine law, medyo malilito ka pa dyan if ano yung correct answer, no? So, we have to check. Now, we have the value of D, we have the value of A, then using cosine law, let's say i-calculate natin yung third side. If 60 ba talaga yung lalabas? Then, if 60 yung lalabas dyan, then correct yung angle na to. If hindi, then mali yung angle na to. Okay? So, using the cosine law, i-check natin through calculator. Ganito na lang, no? Okay, first side is 50. The second side is yung D, which is D is 30.064. And yung angle natin, included angle here, we will check that 86.26. If we press equals here, then the side given is 56.6 lang. Hindi siya umabot. Okay, whereas we are to use this 93.74 in the included angle. Of course, it will give us 60. No? Nag-round off tayo kaya hindi na siya naging exact. That means ito yung magiging sagot. Okay? Be cautious on this kind of problem because pwede tayong ma-scam if binigay yung dalawang angle dito sa choices. Okay? Problem 8. In a triangle shown, how many possible triangles can be formed? So, we have the sides of the triangle given dito. So, how can we check? Actually, hindi pa tayo assure, no? Wala pa tayong assurance na may makikreate na triangle given with these sides. We have to check. We can use this basis principle. The sum of two sides of the triangle is greater than the third side. And also, the difference of two sides of the triangles is less than the third side. Ito yung principle na makakagawa talaga tayo ng triangle. So, I suggest we will use the two smaller sides dito to check this one. Okay, using this one, as observation natin, 8 plus 7 is equals to 15. But the theorem says that the sum of two sides is greater than sa third side dyan. So, in this case, hindi siya pwede. Dapat greater yung dalawang sides natin, the sum of two sides. So, from this pa lang, we can say that there is no triangle being formed given that sides. So, mali siya dito. Whereas this second theorem, correct naman siya. No, but sa isang theorem dapat yung dalawang theorem dapat maipasa talaga. Parang code lang ba, no? But ano yung explanation dito? Ganito kasi yan. Look at this one. Diba, if that is 8 and 7, then i-add natin yung dalawa, magiging straight line lang siya. No? Equals yan siya sa 15. Kaya walang makikreate or walang magiging angle sa kanila. Because, as you can see, magiging straight line nga lang siya. Kaya the answer here should be zero triangle form. Scam lang siya. Okay? Okay, so, another example. Ganito naman. Again, we are to find how many possible triangles are shown. And checking the sum of two sides. So, I suggest nga yung two smaller sides yung gagawin natin. 12 plus 7 is we have 19, of course. Then, that is greater than, this should be 17. Okay, the third side. Kamali ako dito. Na type error ko siya. This should be 17. And again, greater pa rin naman siya. 19 is greater than 17. So, correct siya dito. Then, difference of two sides naman, lesser siya sa 15. Of course, 12 minus 7 is 5, no? So, lesser 15. That means, may na-create tayong triangle. And that is isang triangle lang. Walang duda na yan. Automatic. Okay? Isang triangle. Actually, i-erase na natin to. Yung 3 triangles sa choice. Automatic yan. Pampagulo lang yung 3 dyan. Okay? Tatanggalin natin yan sa choices when we encounter this kind of problem. Now, another way of solving this one is by cosine law. Take note that the sum of angles sa triangle should be 180 degrees. Now, if we are to check all the angles here by using the cosine law, di ba, ito yung cosine law, and let's say yung angle is x generally. Again, if I will rearrange this one, yung x natin can be calculated by this one. Okay, just transpose yung c, then yung cosine transpose, then arc cosine. Ito, i-check natin yung alpha, beta, and theta. So, ito yung gagawin natin sa calculator natin para hindi tayo paulit-ulit mag-type. So, shift cosine a squared plus b squared minus c squared divided by twice of AB. Okay, so to use this formula, dapat tatandaan lang natin that the C dito is the opposite of the angle na kukunin natin. If we will calculate the angle alpha, then our C here is 7. Okay, para hindi tayo malito dito. So, calc, then A is kahit saan sa kanila, 12, then 17. Then, again, yung C is yung opposite sa angle natin. That is 7. Now, automatically, yung A is yan. Okay, now, if we are to calculate B naman, calc ko lang siya. Calc yung B. So, ang C natin is yung opposite sa kanya, 17. So, A, pwedeng 12, pwedeng 7. Then, C should be 17, yung opposite sa kanya. Then, ito yung angle B, angle beta. Yung theta naman, calc pa rin ako. Then, yung A natin, magiging 12 na. Opposite sa kanya. Okay, yung A natin, 17. Let's say 17, 7. Then, C should be the opposite. Ito yung answer. So, ito yung mga nakuha natin. Okay? Now, para ma-check natin if may triangle ba talagang nabuo, i-add natin yan. Dapat equal siya sa 180 degrees. Now, if we will add this using the calculator, it will give us 180 degrees. That means may triangle talagang nabuo. Okay? So, kailan ba mangyayari na may dalawang triangle na yung na makukuha? So, ito yung problem na yan. Ambiguous case of sine law kasi yan. Okay, problem 10. Given we have two sides, this one 16 and 26, and also we are given one angle that is opposite to the one side. Okay, this one. So, this 50 is opposite of this one side. Kumbaga, hindi siya included angle na. So, gagawin natin is sine law, of course. So, if this one, kukunin natin yung opposite angle niya. Technique dito, kukunin natin yung opposite angle sa isang side. Okay, let's say angle theta. By sine law, sine of this theta over 26. So, I just reciprocal the sine law na. Okay lang yan, the same lang siya. Theta over 26 is equals to sine of 50 over 16. Then, rearrange that, cross-multiply natin yung 26. It will give us 1.245 yung sine theta. But take note that sine theta should not be greater than 1 because as you can remember, sine theta is opposite over the hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is always greater than the opposite side. Okay, kaya hindi pwedeng maging greater than 1 dito. So in this case, greater than 1 siya, automatic walang triangle na mabubuo dito. 0 yan. Answer is 0. Okay, understand? Automatic yan. Kahit i-shift solve natin yan or arc sine natin, magma-math error tayo dyan. Okay? So this is the first case when two sides are given and one opposite angle is given. Okay? Another example. The same pa rin, two sides, then one opposite angle is given. So how many possible triangles can be formed? Again, we will calculate the opposite angle of the other side. Yung opposite ng 37. Ito. So by sine law again, and our sine is 0.7646. So okay na siya. Lesser than 1 na siya. Then using arc sine, ang lalabas is 49.87. Okay? So how can we check ilang possible triangles ang mabubuo dito? Okay? So remember that when using sine function, dalawang possible angles yung ibibigay niya, di ba? So, yung isang angle dito is the supplement. So, 180 minus this one, ibibigay niya 130.13 degrees. Okay, to check kung ilang triangle can be formed in this problem. Okay, look at this one. Yung supplement natin, i-add natin sa angle given, which is 32.5. If I were to add that one, 130.13, the supplement plus 32.5 gives us 162.63. Now, as you can see, hindi siya umabot sa 180 degrees, which is required sa ating triangle. That means, kulang pa tayo. No? In this case, the possible triangle should be dalawa. Two possible triangles yung answer dito. Okay, kasi hindi siya umabot sa 180. Pag itong sum of this supplement and the given angles lumagpas sa 180, then the possible answer is isa lang. Okay? Isa. Actually, the possible answers din dito, isa or dalawa lang, no? Or zero. So, wala talaga yung 3. Again, if this happens na hindi siya umabot sa 180, 2 yung answer. Now, if this happens, lumagpas siya sa 180, 1 yung answer. Okay? Now, let's try this another example. Okay, so, ipakita ko muna bakit saan itong angles na to. Itong 130.13, klarong-klaro, ito yung angle na yan. Because that is an obtuse angle, greater than 90 degrees. Yung angle theta na 49.87, ganito kasi yan. Pwede natin siyang i-project or i-prolong doon and this one. Then, yung meeting place sila, yan yung angle theta na possible pa dyan. Okay? Possible din siya. Okay, well anyway, move tayo sa sine. Problem 12. The same problem, iba lang yung given. So, we have this one. So, first, we will solve the opposite angle of this one, theta, by sine law. Then, it will give us the sine. Then, arc sine of 0.2152, that is 12.43. Then, again, i-check talaga natin yung supplement, 180 minus that one, it will give us 167.57. Ito yung supplement niya. Then, ano yung trick? I-add natin siya sa given angle, which is 154. Now, this one plus the given angle of 154, it exceeds 180 degrees. That means, hindi na pwede. Lumagpas na siya sa buong sum of the interior angles of the triangle. So, the answer here should be 1 lang dapat. Only one triangle is possible. Okay? So, ito yung mga cases sa ambiguous case on sine law.